when E3 is slowly approaching. And the video game companies are about to announce something big. Only one man will cover the gaming news. Well, maybe not him. Hey guys, it's Lukinator 23, and can you believe it is May already? I mean, seriously, huh? Since it's getting very close to E3, I might as well discuss what E3 is. E3 is a huge gaming event because all these big companies, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sega, a lot of different companies come together and announce what their plans are for this year, next few years, and just generally just announcements for gaming as a whole. In this video, I'm just going to purely be talking about Nintendo stuff. I'll talk a little about, like, Sega, what Sonic the Hedgehog might be bringing this year, and mostly Super Smash Bros. So I hope you guys like this video. But before I talk about any of this stuff, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out us on this channel. And anyways, let's start off with what Sega could reveal. Did anybody else watch that Sonic Central presentation by Sega? I'm going to go and say a lot of people were really disappointed on what was brought to the table. I mean, even I, as a Sonic fan, am kind of disappointed that they didn't reveal what I was expecting. But at the same time, I understand. E3 is so close, this was mostly just for partnerships. But one thing that stood out to me during this partnership section was this part right here. I'm telling you, I freaked out when this was revealed. Now, for those who, for some reason, don't know, this is Minecraft, okay? Like, this is the real Minecraft. So what this means is that we're probably going to get some sort of, like, texture pack. Maybe we'll get, like, some special games, like how we got with the Pac-Man Minecraft stuff. Maybe it's something like that. I'm hoping it's a texture pack with skins, like the Mario texture pack, So hopefully it's something like that. If it's just a skin, that would be kind of disappointing, but, at least it's Sonic and Minecraft. But the big takeaway was this video right here. It's just a short little teaser showing off the new Sonic game. We don't know anything about it, but from what leakers have been saying, this game is going to be titled Sonic Rangers, which, why? I mean, seriously, I don't even know why. But this game is apparently open world, which I don't think has ever been done for a Sonic game, and apparently this game is highly inspired by Breath of the Wild. As a fan of Breath of the Wild, I'm going to buy this game, okay? Now, all we got was this short little teaser, but I really think E3 is when we're going to know more about this game, right? I mean, after all, this was only a 15-minute presentation, and, like, why would they not have any new Sonic announcements if, say, they weren't going to show anything at E3, right? So, E3 is most likely when we'll know more about all the other Sonic info. Plus, it did say in the coming weeks, and E3 is in the coming weeks, so I think it's just lining up perfectly. Now moving on to the Nintendo side of things, I think 100% we are going to see an announcement for the new Donkey Kong game. Now for those who did not know, this year marks the 40th anniversary of the Donkey Kong series. Now I'm going to go and say, if Donkey Kong did not exist, we would not have Mario, so yeah, I think very well we're going to be seeing something, right? This is Nintendo's biggest mascot ever. I mean, sure, obviously Mario beats him by, like, a lot, but like I said, he has a big part in gaming history, and I would be surprised if Nintendo has nothing for this, right? Now, obviously, we do know that Nintendo doesn't really do a lot for anniversaries. I mean, sure, they did do a lot for the Mario stuff, but at the same time, they didn't. So, I don't know if we'll be seeing, like, a new Donkey Kong title or not, but I think most likely we'll be seeing something for the 40th anniversary. Whether or not that's, like, another Donkey Kong character for Smash, please don't, or an entire new game, we really don't know. But from what recent rumor has it, the Super Mario Odyssey team will be making this new one. So, if it's going to be 3D or 2D, I have absolutely no idea. In my opinion, a 2D game sounds better than a 3D one. No offense, but like, it seems more realistic. But I can almost guarantee that if we do get a new Donkey Kong game, King K. Rool will be in it. I mean, come on, Nintendo. I know you want to bring him back. Another thing I can almost guarantee will be at this E3 Nintendo Direct, whatever you want to call it, is probably Kirby. Okay, so you probably didn't know this, but HAL Laboratory, the people who currently develop the games, had stated a few months ago, I think it was, they stated that this next Kirby game will be the peak of the franchise, and they clarified what they meant by that. They meant this will be one of the biggest Kirby games out there. Now, from what we've been seeing in recent years, Kirby hasn't been doing so hot, right? Like, name the last time Kirby had a very popular, successful game. I mean, I'm not saying that Kirby games are bad. I'm going to say that I think a lot of Kirby games are good. But, you know, they don't have a big impact on the gaming industry. Back in the early 2000s and 90s, sure, he definitely did. But we don't really see a lot of big Kirby games nowadays. But I can almost guarantee that if we do get a new announcement, it'll be in this E3 presentation. Whether or not it's a rumored 3D game, I think it's anybody's guess. And speaking of guessing, when is our next Warioware game? Now, for those who are completely unaware of the series' existence, this game is, how do I put it, weird. Now, that's not a surprise if you know the Wario character. I mean, he's just simply a short, disgusting weirdo. But his games are, like, so fun for some reason. I have no idea. Like, it's sort of like, you know, a Disney Channel movie, you know? Like, they're so bad, but they're so good at the same time. I have no idea how they do it. But Warioware games have always been on, like, almost any Nintendo console, debuting, like, back on the GameCube days. And the last game we got was on the 3DS back in, I think, 2019 or 2018. It's been a long time since those games have been last seen. And with the Switch really just having a lot of big games, want to have a big WarioWare game. Now, the games aren't that hard to make. You can just pull all the mini-games from all the different versions of the game. They've done that many times before. Maybe they could be like a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the WarioWare series, where it's all the mini-games combined into one game. I mean, I would pay $70 for this game instead of the typical 60. And I'd especially love to see how many multiplayer features they have, because obviously, you know, Switch has a lot of multiplayer features with, like, Smash and, you know, Mario Party and stuff like that. So I feel like this would be like their next big party game. At the same time, though, I don't know if they'll reveal it at E3. This has just been one of those games that, like I said, has been highly anticipated to actually release. But the one thing I can almost guarantee is going to be happening at E3 is a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter reveal. Now, in terms of it's just going to be revealed first part of the Direct, middle of the Direct, or the last part of the Direct, it's anybody's guess. It's also anybody's guess on who it is. My honest opinion right now is that it's going to be third party. In fact, I think the last two are third party. I don't want to eat my words because I don't want a character like Waluigi, to actually enter the fray. But right now, my opinions on who this next character is Crash Bandicoot. I plan to have an entire video talking about why I think he's going to join, but for those who don't know what the series is, the series is a well-known Activision IP. The games were heavily inspired by Super Mario Bros. And the Sonic the Hedgehog franchises. In fact, it was compared to be one of the unofficial mascots of PlayStation. Back in the 90s, we had this thing called the Console Wars, where all the big companies for gaming had huge mascots. You know, you had Nintendo, who recently released the Nintendo 64. They had Mario as their mascot. Sega, who I think at the time released the Sega Genesis, had Sonic as their mascot. And PlayStation was just sort of those, you know, new companies at the time, and they didn't really have a mascot until they actually got the Crash Bandicoot game. And that game was so popular when it first released. In fact, it actually managed to spin off into other games, such as Crash Racing, Crash Twin Sandy, Crash of the Titans, stuff like that. But right now, the series is owned by Activision. So it's actually appeared on Xbox One, you know, Xbox 360 if you want to be picky, and then, of course, Nintendo consoles. So I think he's got a great shot of joining. Whether or not he's our next character, I think he's going to be in this game, and I will be upset if he doesn't. And the final big game that I think Nintendo will show off during this E3 Nintendo Direct is most likely going to be Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Okay, I'm joking. I think it's Breath of the Wild 2, everybody. Now, for those who do not know, earlier this year in the Nintendo Direct, I think he was a director for the first Breath of the Wild game. He did mention, as soon as he revealed the Skyward Sword port for the Switch, which caused a lot of controversy recently, but that's a different conversation. He also mentioned in that Direct that even though they didn't have any information at the time for Breath of the Wild 2, most likely they would have some information by this year. And what better time this year than E3? I mean, come on, think about it. This is a big game to a big sequel, you know? Now, if you did not play the first game, which I highly recommend you do, all you're going to need to know is that, spoilers by the way, in 3, 2, 1, Ganondorf got destroyed, aka killed, right? Well, so far from what we've seen for the sequel, he's back, but that's it. That's all we know. So far from what people have been saying, it could be releasing this year, like the sequel. I'm hoping it does, but at the same time, I do want them to take their time, and I don't want this to be a rushed game at all, because have you seen what companies do when they have a rushed game? You get games like Sonic Forces that, even though they're kind of fun, they just are not successful at all. So honestly, I just hope they get this game announced soon, like at least a gameplay trailer and like a story trailer as well. Maybe just a Zelda presentation, but 100% I think we're going to be seeing more info during this year at E3. My actual final things in this video, I'm just going to briefly talk about. So we got a teaser earlier today by LEGO for something related to LEGO, obviously. Now, based on this teaser, we can only see glowing lights on top of a brick, right? That's all we see. Well, a lot of fans, like me, have noticed that this has a very similar color pattern to LEGO Dimensions. Okay, LEGO Dimensions fans, hold on a second. You mean to tell me that LEGO randomly announced this teaser right here, and we don't even know if it's actually for a LEGO video game, right? Well, for those who did not know, LEGO Star Wars still has not released. Like, LEGO, come on, give us the game, right? Well, I feel like since E3 is slowly approaching, and LEGO apparently has a new game revealed, what better game than LEGO Dimensions 2, right? Now, I won't get into discussion on exactly what happened in the last game, but let's just say it ended on a cliffhanger, proving that the main villain might come back, and I feel like this is a perfect teaser in terms of exactly which LEGO universe it'll take place in. I think it's safe to say Disney, okay? Because they've been recently getting back into the Disney swing of things. And the actual final thing I want to talk about is a rumored Nintendo Switch Pro. Now, for the longest time, I thought this was a complete fake thing. Now, I just found this randomly on the internet. This is not what the real one's going to look like, but from what I've heard recently, this new Nintendo Switch will apparently have 4K resolution, all the games will support 60 frames per second, that sort of stuff, and apparently from what recent information has been leaked out, this new console will be revealed very soon, so we should expect a Nintendo Direct probably as soon as next week. Hopefully not, in my opinion. I think we should just wait until actual E3 time. But yeah, now that's everything I want to talk about today. What are your opinions on everything? Do you agree with what I talk about? Do you disagree with what I talk about? What are your opinions? I'd like to know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.